So this isn't the first time elected officials on the First Coast have run into trouble with the law, and our Ken Amaro offers his take tonight in a First Coast News editorial.
Reaction to the indictment was swift. Councilman Matt Schellenberg expressed strong disappointment. He was very emphatic when he said elected officials should be above reproach. Why? He said it hurts their reputation. And you know what? He is right. A few months ago, Congresswoman Katrina Brown was convicted on public corruption. Now, here we go again with two city council members facing charges of public corruption. The federal indictment against council members Katrina Brown and Reginald Brown should not be an indictment of every public official, but it shakes the trust and the confidence we give them when we enter the ballot box. We trust them to be good public servants. We trust them to be men and women of integrity. We trust them to enrich our lives and not to enrich themselves. Even though Katrina Brown and Reginald Brown are innocent until proven guilty, as we move into the upcoming election cycle, it will clearly be on the minds of voters. Some will cast their vote full of skepticism. Others will refuse to vote because they have lost their trust in public officials. It is truly a sad day when something like this happens. Ken Amaro, First Coast News, on your side.